Good evening, everyone. My name is Ricky Hill. I am your e-recruiter here at UC Merced. A very big welcome to you tonight. We are so thrilled that you could join us for another one of our virtual events here. Tonight, as you see on your screen, the topic of the presentation is UC transfer pathways and dual admissions. So if you're a transfer student and that sounds like something that you're interested in, you are in the right place. We have a great presentation planned for you this evening, but before we get started, let me give you a couple of Zoom refreshers. If you need to adjust your audio settings, you can do that in the lower left corner of your screen. If at any time you would like to zoom into the picture on your screen, you can click on View Options in the upper portion of your window. And of course, as always, we have a special segment at the end saved just for you for us to answer those questions that you may have. So click on the Q&A button, send in those questions, and we will save those for the end, as I said. Once again, this event tonight is UC Transfer Pathways and Dual Admissions. We are also recording this event tonight, so if you don't get a chance to either stick with us the whole time or you'd like to go back and watch it as an on-demand instant replay, you will have that opportunity in just about a day. So before we go directly into the presentation, we do want to give you a little bit of an overview of what we are going to be talking about tonight. So the first portion that we will be starting off with here tonight is the transfer admission requirements. So it's a very important piece. Make sure you have your smartphone ready in case you'd like to take some screenshots or some pictures of some of those slides as they're going by. After that, we do also plan to talk about transfer programs and the routes that we offer here. Dual admissions program is third on deck. And then of course, we will always be offering you contact information, resources, and tools towards the end, right around that same time when we are getting to those questions and answers live for you at the end. Once again, I'm your e-recruiter here at UC Merced, Ricky Hill. It is such a big pleasure for me to always be here with you to host and moderate these fun virtual events. At this time, let's go ahead and get our presentation started, and I will hand things over to my friend Sheila.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much, Ricky. My name is Sheila Zhang, and I am the Assistant Director of Transfer Initiatives for the Office of Admissions at UC Merced. I work with California Community College students throughout the state and also on transfer initiatives for our campus. Fun fact, I am a UC Merced alumna, so it's really great to be presenting tonight on how you can prepare for transfer if that's something that you are interested in for transferring to UC. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're starting off with the definition of a transfer student. So who is considered a transfer student? The official definition of a transfer student for UC is a student who is enrolled in a regular term at a college or university after high school graduation. A regular term is defined as a fall, winter, or spring quarter, or a fall or spring semester. It's important to note that most campuses consider transfer students at the junior level. However, there are different types of transfer students. The different types of transfer students are listed here on this slide. There's junior level, lower division, senior level, and UC to UC or 4-year to UC transfer students. Once again, most campuses consider transfer students at the junior level, although a few campuses may consider sophomore or even senior transfers. At UC, junior level transfers from California community colleges are our highest priority. However, if you are a student at another college or hoping to transfer as a freshman or sophomore transfer, we do have additional guidance and options available for you. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and jump into the transfer admission requirements. In tonight's presentation, we are going to focus on lower division and junior level transfer requirements. If you are a senior or 4-year transfer student, please reach out directly to the campus of interest. All right. So while all UC campuses welcome a large pool of junior level transfers, most admit a limited number of lower division transfer students. Students applying as a lower division transfer will typically have less than 60 semester or 90 quarter units of UC transferable credit, a minimum UC transferable GPA of 2.0 in all transferable coursework, And lower division transfer students will have met the minimum requirements for UC upon high school graduation. This includes a 3.0 high school GPA, as well as completion of the A through G requirements. For lower division transfers, some major preparation coursework might be required. Now, if you are interested in lower division, it's really important to note that not all campuses are open for lower division. Therefore, it's always important that you are checking with the campus of interest to see if lower division is an option that is available at your campus of interest. Because we are UC Merced, we are going to highlight our early transfer opportunity program. Currently, UC Merced is the only University of California campus to offer an undeclared transfer option to students at the lower division level. This means that if you were eligible to attend AUC from high school, you can transfer before you have earned the 60 semester or 90 quarter units and complete all of your major preparation. We have found that transferring early to our campus allows students to take advantage of UC resources and benefit from our commitment to student success. That is illustrated by an average time of degree of 4.2 for first-time first-year students and 2.2 for junior level transfer students. We also boast a retention rate between 84 and 90%, and ranking of #1 in the nation for student outcomes. Not only that, students who participate or take advantage of the early transfer opportunity also have accessibility to faculty who are experts in the fields that interest and excite our students. We'll go ahead and take a look at the different pathways for early transfer opportunity on this next slide here. At UC Merced, our early transfer opportunity is available for 3 different pathways. We have the undeclared pathway of 15 units or less, undeclared of 16 to 29 units, and the major pathway. The requirements for each of these pathways will vary by units, GPA, and major preparation requirements. If you are interested in the early transfer opportunity at UC Merced, we highly encourage that you create a UC Transfer Admission Planner, also known as TAP. I'll have one of my colleagues drop the TAP link in the chat, and then also schedule an appointment with our transfer advisor. For early transfers, each case is different and students will have different units. Therefore, if you are interested in this option or think you might be able to transfer as an early transfer, it's important that you reach out to us and work directly with one of our advisors to determine the correct pathway for you as a lower division. All right. So now that we've gone over the lower division transfer requirements, we're going to take a look at junior level transfer requirements. Now, the majority of students who transfer to UC do come in at the junior level. If you are thinking about coming in as a junior level transfer student, there are 4 criteria that are very important to keep track of in terms of meeting the minimum requirements for UC. We have the unit requirement, the GPA requirement, 7 course pattern requirement, and major preparation. All 4 of these areas comprise of the junior level transfer requirements that are needed for transferring to the UC. Let's take a look at a breakdown of each of these areas and more in details. All right. So for units, students applying to UC as a junior level transfer must have a minimum of 60 semester or 90 quarter units of UC transferable credit. It's important to note that no more than 14 semester or 21 quarter units of these credit can be taken for pass, no pass, or credit, no credit. The only exception to these 14 semester or 21 quarter units are the COVID terms. COVID terms will vary by campus. So if you are interested in pass, no pass, or credit, no credit during COVID terms for a UC campus, please reach out directly to that campus. Moving on, we have the GPA requirements. If you are a California resident, the minimum GPA requirement that you must have applying at the junior level is a 2.4 UC transferable GPA. If you are a non-resident, the minimum GPA is a 2.8 UC transferable GPA. It's really important to note that while this is the minimum GPA requirement, majors will require a higher GPA based on the major criterion selection. Therefore, it's really important to check the campus and the major that you're applying to in the case that the GPA might be higher than the minimum that's listed here. All right, now let's move on to the 7-course pattern requirement. The 7-course pattern consists of 7 courses that students must complete if they are applying as a junior level transfer. The 7-course pattern requires that students complete 2 UC transferable courses in English composition, 1 UC transferable course in mathematical concepts and quantitative reasoning, and 4 UC transferable courses chosen from at least 2 of the following subject areas: arts and humanities, social and behavioral sciences, and physical and biological sciences. Important things to know about the 7-course pattern is that each course that you complete for the 7-course pattern must be at least 3 semester or 4 quarter units. You will also need to earn a grade of C or better in each course, or a pass grade if pass is equivalent to a C grade. In addition, AP exams of 3, 4, or 5 may be used in the appropriate subject area to satisfy the 7-course pattern. One last thing I'd like to note about the 7-course pattern is that the courses must be UC transferable. Therefore, when you are choosing courses to fulfill the 7-course pattern, please double check on assist.org to see if the course is UC transferable. All right. Now that we've talked about the minimum units, GPA, and 7-course pattern, let's take a look at major preparation. Major preparation varies by major and campus, and it may require students to complete a specific GPA, coursework, or course grade. Major preparation as well may fulfill prerequisites for other courses in your major. They do lay the foundational coursework for your major. So for example, if you are an engineering major, these might be like your calculus courses, which are needed for your upper division engineering courses. If you are a psychology major, major preparation might be like introduction to psychology or statistics. Major preparation courses can be used toward completion of IGETC, the 7-course pattern, or general education as well. For campuses that select by major or have major selection, students should complete as many of the required major preparation courses as possible, in addition to the minimum UC admission requirements. Some campuses may require that all or a certain number of major prerequisites be completed for admissions. So as you are getting ready to apply, make sure to double check if the major that you are choosing at the UC of interest has major preparation selection requirements. Some majors might have major preparation, whereas others might not, depending on the campus and the major that you are applying to. If you're not sure if your major requires major preparation, definitely reach out to the Office of Admissions for the campus that you are interested in. All right. In this next slide here, we're going to talk a little bit about general education and IGETC. General education is a set of courses that students need to complete before graduation. For some of you, you might know it as the general education breadth requirement, and these requirements can vary by campus and by major. The next topic on this slide is IGETC. IGETC is a set of courses that students can complete at the community college to satisfy lower division general education requirements for the UC and the CSU. You might know it at your community college as that sheet that has a lot of areas. Many of you may actually be completing IGETC right now. IGETC is not a minimum admission requirement. However, some campuses may consider IGETC as a selection factor. So for example, at UC Merced, we don't require IGETC as a minimum admission requirement. However, our public health major does require IGETC as a selection requirement. Therefore, if you are interested in public health at UC Merced, you do need to complete IGETC because that is part of your major preparation. So just an important note about IGETC is that it might not, although it's not a minimum admission requirement, you might need to complete it for major selection, and that will depend on the major and the campus that you're applying to. All right, next slide. So I know we talked about like the different types of transfers, and we went over quite a lot of information about the transfer requirements. So how do you determine your transfer level, or how does this all make sense? Let's take a look at the different options here. So case scenario, I have less than 60 semester or 90 quarter units of UC transferable credit and have met the UC requirements at the high school level. If this applies to you, you could be a lower division transfer student. It is important to note, though, that if you are thinking about transferring as a lower division transfer student, you must check with the campus of interest if lower division transfer is an option. Not all campuses offer lower division, and even if lower division was an option, not all majors are available. All right, next situation. I have at least 60 semester or 90 quarter units of UC transferable credit from a California community college. If you have at least 60 semester or 90 quarter units of UC transferable credit from a California community college, you are considered a junior level transfer. The difference between lower division and junior level is the completion of the minimum 60 semester or 90 quarter units. If you've met the minimum 60 semester or 90 quarter units or have gone over that, you are a junior level transfer student. If you've not yet completed 60 semester or 90 quarter units, you are a lower division transfer student. All right, the next scenario we have here is I have over 80 semester and 120 quarter units from a four-year university or institution, for example, a CSU or a private institution. If this is your situation here, please contact the admissions office for the campus that you are interested in. In this case, you might be considered a high unit junior or senior level transfer student. There are specific policies that do apply to high unit transfer students, and it will vary from campus to campus. So if you are finding that you have over 80 semester or 120 quarter units from a four-year university, please reach out to the Office of Admissions for the campus that you are interested in transferring to. All right. So now that we've gone over the admission requirements and different transfer levels, let's take a look at UC transfer programs and routes that are available to transfer students. All right. The first thing we're going to look at here is the Transfer Admission Guarantee, also known as TAG. TAG has existed for many years, and the Transfer Admission Guarantee, or TAG, is an agreement for guaranteed admission to an individual major at one of the 6 UC campuses for community college students who meet specific course and GPA requirements. Students who participate in the TAG program may receive an early review of their academic records, early admission notification, and specific guidance about major preparation and general education. It's important to note that if you are interested in a TAG, you do need to meet the TAG requirements for the intended major at the campus that you plan to submit a TAG to. Similar to major preparation, TAG requirements will also vary by major and by campus. Now, there are 6 UC campuses that offer TAG agreements. These 6 campuses are UC Davis, UC Irvine, UC Merced, UC Riverside, UC Santa Barbara, and UC Santa Cruz. You'll see on here that UCLA, UC San Diego, and UC Berkeley do not offer tag programs. If you are interested in transferring to one of those campuses, you will need to prepare for transfer through regular admissions and by following major preparation. You can also reach out to the campuses to figure out how you can be a competitive applicant to one of those 3 campuses that do not offer the tag. All right. Now, while tag requirements do vary by major and by campus, students interested in a tag generally need to complete the following requirements to be considered for a tag. So in general, if you are planning to submit a tag, you need to complete at least 30 semester or 45 quarter units of UC transferable credit by tag submission. Basically, what that means is when you are about to submit your tag application to that tag campus, you need to have 30 semester or 45 quarter units completed with grades. The next general requirement is that you must complete 60 semester or 90 quarter units of UC transferable credit prior to transferring. So in order to fulfill the tag requirements, a total of 60 semester or 90 quarter units must be completed for the tag. In addition, you do need to complete the UC English and UC Math requirements. Please make sure to pay careful attention to the English and Math requirements, as some campuses may require you to complete this during a specific term. For the tag as well, you need to make sure that you are meeting the GPA requirement for the tag major and campus, and that you complete the tag requirements for the tag major and campus that you are planning to submit your tag to. All right. So how does the tag process work? If you are planning to tag, the first thing you should be doing is creating a UC Transfer Admission Planner, or UC TAP. I'll have one of my colleagues drop the UC TAP link on the chat for everyone. So when you create your UC TAP, it's not just creating it, you actually need to input all completed and in progress or planned coursework in the courses section of your TAP. After you've completed the coursework section for the TAP, you should then identify a tag major and tag campus. Once again, only 6 of the 9 undergraduate UC campuses offer a tag program. And even with the tag programs, not all majors are part of the tag. So for example, at UC Merced, civil engineering is not part of our tag program. Therefore, when you're identifying a tag campus and a tag major, you want to make sure that that campus is open for that major for tag. Once you've identified the major and the campus that you want to tag to, you will then need to fulfill all tag requirements as outlined by the tag campus and major. In addition to completing the minimum requirements, tag does require that students complete sometimes a higher GPA or additional courses. Therefore, it's important that you are paying careful attention to the tag requirements that have been outlined by the campus you're planning to tag to. Once you've identified the tag major and campus and are on your way to fulfilling the tag requirements, you want to make sure that you submit the tag application by the tag filing period. Once you've submitted the tag application, you then need to submit a regular UC application by the application filing period. So the tag filing period is in the month of September, and the application filing period is from October to November. So for those of you who are planning to transfer for fall of 2024, the tag application may have closed for some campuses already. However, if you are interested in tagging to UC Merced, we have extended our tag deadline to October 15th. So 3 more days from now, so you still have an opportunity to submit a tag to UC Merced if you are interested in coming to our campus. All right. And then last but not least, make sure you stay up to date with communications from the TAG campus. Our main method of communication for TAG is through email. So make sure that you are checking your email from the time you submit your TAG application until when you submit your UC application, just in case we do reach out for additional information or we request for additional information through the TAG. So make sure to just check your email for any additional communications that we are sending out to you. All right, there is a QR code here. So if you want to scan this QR code, it is going to give you a breakdown of the transfer admission guarantee, as well as the different steps that you can take to submit a tag and also how to create a UC TAP account. All right. So now that we've talked about TAG as a program that you can utilize to help you prepare for transfer, let's talk about the UC transfer pathways. The transfer pathways can help students who want to make themselves competitive across the UC system. Some majors listed may want fewer courses for admissions, but none will expect more. For those of you who are interested in different campuses, and you already know your major, UC transfer pathways is a great way to go about it. The UC transfer pathways are a common set of major preparatory courses across all 9 campuses for the most popular majors by transfer applicants. Students who do complete a transfer pathway with strong academic performance will be well prepared to enter any UC campuses in their pathway major and be able to take upper division courses more quickly than their peers who might not be completing a UC transfer pathways. All right, these are the majors that are currently available for UC transfer pathways. The majors include anthropology, biochemistry, biology, business administration, cell biology, chemistry, communication, computer science, economics, electrical engineering, English, history, math, mechanical engineering, molecular biology, philosophy, physics, political science, psychology, and sociology. If there isn't a pathway for your chosen major or the campus that you want isn't listed in the pathway for your major, don't worry. You can still apply through regular admissions and completing major preparation for that major. So although pathways is for the most popular majors, if your major is not on here, you can still apply through the regular admissions process by completing major preparation. All right. Also, Marceni already went ahead and dropped the link there. So if you like to check out the UC transfer pathways, as well as campuses that offer the pathways, feel free to check out the link. All right. The next program or option that we have to help students prepare for transfer at the UC is Pathways Plus. Pathways Plus is one of the newer transfer options that is based on the transfer pathways major. Students who follow one of the UC transfer pathways majors and complete a tag in that pathways major will have completed what's known as Pathways Plus. Pathways Plus does combine the benefits of transfer pathways and TAG, which provides major preparation for academic success at UC and the assurance of a guarantee to a UC campus. So if your major is in a transfer pathways and you would like to guarantee your tag, you can actually follow the Pathways Plus route, which will allow you to be a competitive applicant in your transfer pathways major while also guaranteeing your space at one of the 6 participating TAG campuses. All right, so choosing an option, how do these different pathways work and which one should I pursue, or how do I even make sense of it all? Let's take a look at some of these options. First one is I want to pursue a UC transfer pathway major, and I'm interested in multiple UC campuses. If you can relate to this, the best way to prepare if you are choosing a transfer route for the UC is to first start with UC transfer pathways. UC transfer pathways, once again, provides a set list of courses that students can complete for UC's most popular majors. It's also a great way to start if you know your major, but you're not sure yet which UC campus you want to transfer to. It allows you to prepare for different campuses if you already know your major. The next scenario is I want to guarantee my admission to a specific major at one of these 6 UC campuses offering a tag. All right. So if you can relate to this, if you already know the major you want to go into, and that major is part of one of these 6 UC campuses that offer a tag, then the best option to prepare would be the transfer admission guarantee. Once again, the transfer admission guarantee offers you conditional guarantee to one of the 6 participating campuses. You will need to complete specific criteria and requirements for that major and that campus through the tag. All right. The last option we have here is I want to pursue a UC transfer pathway major, and I'm also interested in guaranteeing my admission to one of the 6 UC campuses offering a tag. All right. If you are interested in this last option here, then the best option to utilize to prepare for transferring to UC would be Pathways Plus. Now remember, Pathways Plus is the best of UC transfer pathways combined with the tag. By completing Pathways Plus, you are not only preparing to be a competitive and selective applicant for your major, but you're also going to be guaranteed conditional admissions to one of the 6 participating UC campuses that offer a tag. All right. So now that we've gone over the different programs and routes that students can take to prepare for UC, let's talk a little bit about dual admissions. The dual admissions program supports students who want to transfer to UC by granting a conditional admission to a participating campus. So dual admissions actually stems from the Assembly Bill 132. The California state legislation did request that UC create a transfer pathway for freshman applicants who did not receive an admission offer to UC. The dual admission program satisfies the legislature request while also expanding access to California students. So with the dual admissions program, if you did apply to UC at the first year or freshman level and was not offered an admission offer to one of the UC campuses, dual admissions is a great way for you to guarantee your admission as a transfer student. All right. On this next slide here, we'll talk a little bit more about how dual admissions work. So once again, freshman applicants are selected to participate in the program through invitation. If you applied to UC as a freshman or first year applicant and you were not offered admissions to a UC campus, you should have received an invitation from the UC office program. Dual admissions does provide a conditional admission guarantee to a UC campus with a tag. Students have the option to select the UC campus and available majors that they want to opt in. In addition, once you opt into the dual admissions program, you will receive additional support from the UC while fulfilling UC campus transfer requirements for dual admissions. Some of the benefits that students have through the dual admissions program is support from UC Office of the President, different UC campuses, and an admission guarantee to one of the tag campuses. If you are currently a high school student who is considering going to a California community college before transferring to UC, dual admissions could be a viable option for you. All right, so we are at the end of our presentation. In this section here, we're going to go over different resources and tools that you can utilize to help you prepare for transfer. The first resource we have here is assist.org. Assist.org is an online student transfer information system that shows you whether or not your courses are transferable to a UC or CSU. You can also utilize assist.org to find UC transferable courses as well. So remember when we were talking about minimum requirements, we talked about the 7-course pattern. If you're not sure which courses fulfill the 7-course pattern, you can actually utilize assist.org to find those courses that fulfill the 7-course pattern from your community college. You can also use assist.org as well to find articulation agreements. So for example, if you are interested in transferring from your community college to UC Merced for a specific major, you can actually find that information and it will outline for you the course equivalents that you need to take to fulfill major preparation at UC Merced for the major that you're interested in. We have a QR code here, so you can go ahead and scan it to access the assist.org website. All right. The next resource that we have here is the UC Transfer Pathways Guide. So I know we talked quite a bit about UC Transfer Pathways in our earlier slides. The tool that you can use alongside UC Transfer Pathways is the Transfer Pathways Guide. This tool will provide you a list of California community college courses that meet the course expectations for one of the major pathways. For this tool, you will select your California community college. You'll select a pathway. So for example, if you're interested in cell biology, you can select cell biology, and that's going to provide for you a major preparation list of courses that you can complete. What's really important to note is that Transfer Pathways Guide does provide you general information, but it will not provide you campus-specific information. This is a great way to get started if you're just trying to figure out courses that you need to take. However, once you've identified your campuses, then you can utilize Assist to find that major preparation requirements. All right. Now, we also talked about the tag, right? The transfer admission guarantee. In order to submit a transfer admission guarantee, you actually need to have what's known as a UC Transfer Admission Planner, or a TAP. TAP is a free online tool that helps transfer students track and plan their coursework. Now, we went over the minimum unit requirement, the GPA, and the 7-course pattern as well. What's really cool about the TAP tool is that it's actually going to track all of that for you. So if you are transferring from a California community college, you can actually input all of the courses onto the TAP tool, and it will calculate your UC transferable GPA as well as your units and whether or not you've fulfilled the 7-course pattern. If you are not a California community college student, you can still utilize the TAP tool. The TAP tool is also shared with UC advisors like myself, and we can actually use it to provide you feedback on whether or not you are meeting the requirements to transfer to our campuses. Students who have a UC TAP will also receive additional information and invitations to events that are hosted by UC and community college campuses. And UC TAP is free. It's a free online tool, so anyone can utilize it at any point in their academic career. You can be a high school senior right now or a current California community college. It doesn't matter. Anyone can utilize the UC Transfer Admission Planner. All right. The next resource that I want to highlight is the University of California, or UC website. The UC website does provide useful information and resources for prospective students, from PIQ guides, financial aid information, admission requirements, and more. If you're not sure how to apply, the UC website actually breaks it down for you. If you want to know more about different tuition opportunities or financial aid opportunities available at UC, you can also find that major. I think my favorite thing from the UC website is actually the PIQ guides. So for many of you, as you are preparing to apply to transfer for fall of 2024, if you're not really sure on how to get started with your check out the PIQ guides, because those will definitely help you formulate your response to the PIQs. And I'll go ahead and have one of my colleagues drop the UC website as well as the PIQ guide in the chat. All right, because we are UC Merced, we are definitely going to highlight our resources here. We do have the UC Transfer Initiative Program, also known as UC TIP. The goal of UC TIP is to increase the number of eligible transfer-ready students in the Central California region through early advising, intervention, and increased access and awareness of transfer resources and tools. Our team provides services from transfer information, such as webinars, presentations, one-on-one advising appointments, application assistance, and residential programs on campus throughout the summer, so that you can experience what it's like to be on a UC campus. We have advisors that do serve the Central California region. However, you can get in contact with us by contacting us at transfer@UC Merced. One of our advisors will be able to reach out to you and get back to you. So if you're not sure who your advisor is, or you would really just like to set up an appointment, send us an email at transfer@ucmerced.edu. All right. On this last slide here, we have campus admission contacts. Now, I know many of you are preparing to transfer, and you might be considering multiple campuses. On this slide here, we do have the admission contacts for each of the 9 undergraduate campuses. Feel free to take a screenshot or a picture with your phone. Okay. And then last but not least, here's our contact information. Please feel free to follow us. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. We've went ahead and listed our social media handles for the Office of Admissions, as well as our Transfer Initiative program. So you will find different information for both our admissions page and our Transfer Initiative program. So definitely check out our social media accounts and follow us. We also have a TikTok. And not only that, this webinar recording will be available at our Life at UC Merced YouTube channel. If you're trying to get a hold of us or would like to schedule an appointment, please reach out to us at transfer@ucmerced.edu or our general phone line, 209-228-7178. So without further ado, that is the end of our presentation. I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to my colleague, Ricky.
Thank you so much, Sheila. What a wonderful, once again, presentation by you. So much great information tonight. We do have a few questions that are trickling in, but yes, a definite reminder here, grab your smartphone, take a quick picture of the screen that you see here. It does have all of that wonderful contact information that no doubt you will want to have at your fingertips later on. And the social media is fantastic. So if you are a fan of social media and you have a couple of favorite platforms, go ahead and follow us there. TikTok is our newest and greatest that we have added to our social media family just about a year ago. And that will definitely give you a fun insight into our campus community, our student population, and just how beautiful our campus really is, in case you haven't had a chance yet to visit our campus. Having mentioned that, before I forget, we do also offer campus tours. So we will drop that over into the chat box, and you can go online to get yourself registered there to make a trip to Merced if you're close by, or if you're far away. Go ahead and make a trip over and take a nice tour with a very knowledgeable tour guide who is actually a student here. So a current Bobcat, giving you their firsthand experience as they take you on a beautiful stroll around our campus. All right, so let me go ahead and grab some of our questions here. Oh, and lastly, make sure you do look over into that chat box. One of our colleagues behind the scenes, Marcini, has been quickly sharing links throughout the past hour. So make sure that you do take full advantage of clicking on those links, getting those bookmarks so that you can reference those later on. All right, Sheila, let's take a look and see what questions we have. So is it harder to transfer to a four-year school either directly from high school as a first year or as a community college transfer student, or are they completely just individual things?
Yeah, that's a great question. If you are considering transferring to a UC campus, it is much easier if you're transferring directly from a California community college. I know many times students think that if they go to a four-year, like if you're transferring from a CSU or another four-year or another UC campus, you might be seen as more competitive than someone who's coming from a California community college. However, that is not the case. UC does give priority to students who are coming from the California community college. So for example, the TAG program that we highlighted is specifically open to just California community college students. Therefore, if you are considering transferring to UC, going the California community college route is the most direct because your courses are also articulated and you can utilize resources like assist.org without having to figure out whether the courses are the equivalent or not. From the community college, you will know that Calculus 1 at this community college is equivalent to Calculus 1 at a UC campus. So it's actually much easier to transfer from a California community college to a UC versus coming from a four-year to a UC.
Wonderful, Sheila. And then if you don't mind, I'll drop just some personal perspective from myself. I was actually a transfer student myself before I went to a four-year school, and I was conflicted as a senior in high school. I just wasn't sure where I should go. And so I took a trip to the campus, several campuses actually, that I was looking into, and taking those campus tours made a big difference. It made me either make that decision that it was the right place for me or whether or not that campus was too big for me, which for me personally, I just wasn't quite ready to take that big jump. So I chose the community college path and I've never regretted it once. It was the best thing for me, gave me an opportunity to stay at home a little bit longer, save a little bit more, and absolutely the education, you know, it's second to none. So I mean, it's just a different way to get to that final destination is kind of what I would say. And so really kind of evaluate that too and see what your personal situation is. Just a little bit of personal sharing tonight. All right, let's see what our next question might be. This student is letting us know that what happens if they get a D in a course. So they're saying that they retook it in the spring, or they're going to retake it in the upcoming spring term, as well as some additional courses. But how do they explain that when they apply as a transfer student?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we understand that life happens, and sometimes you might have gotten the grade that doesn't best reflect, you know, your academic performance or who you are as a scholar. We understand it happens, right? If you did get a non-passing grade and you retook the course, we are going to take the passing grade that you've repeated it with. So let's say, for example, you got a D, you retook the course, and now you got an A in the course. We are going to take that A, and that's going to be calculated in your GPA. So for any non-passing grades that you've repeated and received a passing grade, the passing grade is what's going to be accounted for in your GPA. If you would like to provide us an explanation of what happened with the course or what was going on during that term when you completed the course, there are the additional comment sections in the application, and there is one right after the coursework section. So if you would like for us to, you know, have a better idea about what happened during that time, or you would like to provide us with any explanations as to why you received that grade, you can do so in the additional comment section in the application. We will all see it when we receive your application.
Very good. And then speaking about the admission application, is there a different time period for transfer students to apply versus first year, or is it all during the same time with the same application?
That's a great question. Yes. So the filing period is the same for first year freshmen and transfer students. The filing period is October 1 through November 30th. So it doesn't matter if you are applying at the freshman or the transfer level, you need to make sure that you submit your application by November 30th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time.
Very good. And then if a student has specific questions about a major, in this instance, we have someone writing in, sharing with us that they are interested in going into the major of journalism. And so what type of major prep courses would they need to take in that first year? Is that something that we can get into now, or should they make an appointment with someone to get a bit more details?
Yeah, because each major is so specific in the major preparation, we do recommend that you first create a UC TAP, so the transfer admission planner, and then go ahead and reach out to one of our transfer advisors. Major preparation does vary by major, so depending on what your major is, the requirements might be needed for you, but it might not be needed for another student. So for those very specific major preparation courses, and majors, please reach out to us. That way, our advisors can spend one-on-one time with you to go over the major prep and to make sure that you're on track for the term you're interested in transferring in for.
Great advice. All right, the next question. Do you need 60 units to transfer?
It depends. So we went over the different types of transfers, right? If you are interested in lower division and you've met the lower division requirements, you don't need 60 semester or 90 quarter units. That is for lower division. If you are applying at the junior level, you are required to have a minimum of 60 semester, 90 quarter units. So it depends. Lower division transfers, no. Junior level transfers, yes.
All right, then moving on to the subject of TAG, the TAG. Is that truly a guarantee for students?
Yes, so the tag is a conditional admission guarantee, meaning that if you fulfill all of the requirements that is needed for the tag, you are guaranteed a spot on that campus. Now, with the tag, some campuses will reach out to you earlier on to let you know that your tag has been accepted. UC Merced is one of those campuses that let you know before you actually submit your fall application or your spring application that your tag has been approved. If your tag has been approved, you know that you've been offered a spot on that campus. However, it is conditional, meaning that you still need to make sure that you complete all courses that's required you of the tag, that you maintain your GPA and you pass your classes. So it is a guarantee, but it's conditional because we still want you to meet the requirements and to maintain your eligibility.
Very good. And then connected to that question a bit as a follow-up, someone's asking, outside of TAG, is the IGETC pathway the best way to transfer without an associate's degree? So do they always follow IGETC and then TAGs in addition, or should they do the TAG, or are there options outside of that?
Yeah, so as a transfer student, the most important thing to focus on is first, minimum UC requirements, and then second, major preparation. IGETC is not an admission requirement. Some campuses, depending on the major, will ask that you complete it for that major. But in general, as a transfer student, when you are getting ready to prepare to transfer, you need to make sure that you're meeting the minimum UC transfer requirements. And then depending on where you are planning to transfer to and the major that you're selecting, the next thing that you should be focusing on is major preparation.
Very good. Then one last question here before we do start to wrap up. How long does it take typically for the average student to complete their 60 semester units?
It depends, but if you are taking about 15 semester units every term, then that is about 2 years.
Very good. And that does wrap it up this evening for our question and answer session. We got to every single one that came in. So a big thank you to Marcini behind the scenes. And of course, Sheila here joining me on screen to answer these and present tonight. So before we do close out, Sheila, did you have any last minute words of advice tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I think as transfer students, make sure that you start researching your campus and your majors early on. I know we went over the requirements today, and a big part of, being a competitive applicant is completing the major preparation courses that's required for your major. But then also make sure that you're checking out the campuses and explore all options that are available to you. Check out virtual tours, go to webinars like some of you are already doing, like joining these webinars tonight. So check out the different campuses, look at resources that are available to you, keep your options open, and just make sure that once you've decided on a campus and a major that you're checking all of those requirements and making sure that you have them completed before you transfer.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sheila. Always such wise words of advice at the end of these sessions. So I definitely hope everyone took in all of that information as well as the presentation and all of the Q&A. And if you haven't yet, grab your smartphone, take a quick picture of this contact slide. And don't forget, tonight's event, as always, has been recorded, so it will be available in the next day or two on the YouTube channel that you see there that is at Life at UC Merced. You can also find the on-demand instant replay links over on the events page, which is admissions.ucmerced.edu/events, and we can drop that into the chat box for your convenience as well. That's also the same place where you go to RSVP and get registered for future webinars, as well as some of our in-person events that are coming up. So if you have not yet taken a moment to look over that page, please do that this evening or at your earliest convenience and get yourself signed up for a future event, either in person or virtual. A couple that we do have coming up are actually specific to the different schools that we offer. So the School of Shaw, which is Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts. We have one that is for School of Natural Sciences and also School of Engineering. So we are going to dedicate a full hour to each one of those topics, and you can hear from the content experts what every school has to offer you and see what may pique your interest. We also have other events coming up focused on financial aid. We've had one on housing already, so you can find the on-demand replay available on the events page for that one. And then we also have a huge series in November coming up that is strictly focused on the admission application, because of course that submission deadline is November 30th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So you want to make sure that you join us for some of those events. If you have any questions at any time, hop on to any of these events. We have about 3 or 4 per week through the month of November. So don't miss your chance, get registered, and then we hope to see you very soon. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. A big thank you to my colleagues Sheila and Marcini. It's always such a blast to be here with you all, and we hope to see all of you again very soon, either in person, on a campus tour, or with us here once again on a virtual event. My name is Ricky Hill, your e-recruiter. Thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck in the future with your admission application. Have a great night.